Talk Sports. I'm Tim Shirer. My co-host Josh Dome is on vacation, along with our technical producer Tony Throckmorton. My broadcast partner Chuck Kulchock is here with us, and Tommy Shirer is here with us also.
How you doing?
I want to talk about the incident that happened at the Pistons Magic game last night in Detroit. Some Pistons fans got a little mad at me for calling out Killian Hayes. I think that's kind of stupid because, you don't punch someone in the back of the neck. I don't care if they hip checked you out of bounds or not. That's pretty stupid. It's violent. It's you do that on the street, you are arrested. So that's kind of, ridiculous that you would take. But I'm not surprised you would take this stance, considering the only two periods in your team's history that they won championships, you had violent players on your teams. So Pistons fans, keep writing the lousy comments because I enjoy them. So now we'll get on to the predictions. I want to thank my neighbor, William Moore, for helping us out tonight. So let's get on to our predictions. And we've got, we do have the predictions for Tony and Josh. They sent them to me. And so bear with me as I look at them as we go, because I got a lot of things to open on my phone
the fastest at that.
As we go tonight. But we'll get going here. We got tonight's game. We're going to pick the Ohio State-Georgia game and the TCU and Michigan game also. We'll do those first. How about we do those first, guys?
Why don't we do those first?
Chuck, who do you have in the Ohio State-Michigan affair?
Man.
Or Ohio State-Georgia. Ohio State-Georgia.
I've watched a lot of college football this year, more than I have in the past. Ohio State's been up and down, I think. Georgia, being the number one team in the country, I think they haven't played like the number one team in the country at times. They kept it very close with Kent State, which is a team they probably should have blew out, even though we have friends on Kent State.
Yeah.
It's love the four camps. I'm going to go with Ohio State here. I think it's going to be a tight game. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I'm going to stay true to the Buckeyes, and I'm going with the Buckeyes.
And what I got here, we'll give Josh's. Josh picked Georgia. Tommy, what do you have?
So I'll say this, Ohio State, very up and down, like Chuck said. Georgia might win 9 out of 10 times, but not this time. Got my Buckeyes.
And our producer, technical producer, Tony Throckmorton.
Of course.
He's out of town this week. He's not here. He picked Ohio State also. And I didn't do numbers on the two college games. But I thought, okay, I wanted to pick Ohio State. I saw what Josh picked. I was like, I don't want to fall farther behind Josh. But I thought, I'm probably not catching Josh. And then I saw Tony picked Ohio State. And I was like, hey, I'll pick Ohio State too. So I can pick Ohio State. And if I get it wrong, hey, I'm no worse than, still tied with Tony. So, but I think if I did the numbers, I think it would be closer than people think. Because, yes, Georgia's given up 12 points a game.
But they haven't
average.
Scored nearly as much.
Okay, that's true. Ohio State has scored 44 points a game. You add that up and divide that, that's 28 points a game. Okay? Don't tell me that Georgia has scored that many points. Because they haven't. And I think Ohio State's going to win this game. I really think they are. So let's go quick on the TCU Michigan. What do you got, Chuck?
I haven't watched a lot of TCU, but I'm going with the dream matchup for the national championship. I'm going to go with the dreaded Michigan.
It would be a dream matchup. That would be something. Josh has Michigan also. What do you got, Tommy?
I have Michigan, but I'll say this: I think if Ohio State were to beat Georgia, I think they beat either one of these teams. I think they beat Michigan this time, and that's if they play like they care. If they go out there flat,
Who's that?
Ohio State.
Ohio State.
If Ohio
Okay.
State advances, they have to play hard, right? But they could beat
But
any
who-
team in this if they go out there and
So-
play hard. But I have
You
Michigan.
got
for this
Michigan?
game.
Okay. I have felt for a while that Michigan, I don't think they're as good as they played. I think Ohio State didn't. I think Ohio State got arrogant in the first half and, didn't play well against them in the second half. I don't think TCU is unbelievable either. But
They
I
barely
think
beat bad
I'm gonna
teams.
pick TCU, and Tony picked TCU too, so that makes it good. If we get it wrong, we're still even.
To me, TCU's barely beaten some bad teams.
Yeah, that's true. But
But,
Michigan barely beat a couple teams that weren't great.
Not by like 2.
Yeah, but I still think that I don't know. We'll see. I don't
We
know.
will.
I mean, I'd like the dream matchup. That would be pretty cool.
I would like the dream, but if we were to lose the dream, it'd be very horrible.
But I also think that I was watching bowl games yesterday, and the one guy, I can't remember who he was, Andre Ware, said that he thinks that if Georgia doesn't win the national championship, he said he feels like Ohio State's the only other one that
Can do it.
can win it. So he feels like they can upset them. So now we got the NFL games. We got the Cowboys at
Tennessee.
at Tennessee tonight. Champagne Tony Pollard is out tonight for the Cowboys, from what I hear. I guess what do you got, Chuck?
Well, the way Tennessee's been playing, which is not good, I don't know how you can pick against Dallas in this game.
Yeah.
I'm going with the Cowboys.
Tommy, what do you got?
I do know how you could pick against Dallas. I think Dallas has been a little, better than they are this whole season. They got to start choking at some point, right? So.
Well, that's what they do in the playoff.
And I feel there's going to be some Josh Dobbs magic.
Oh, boy.
So I'm going to pick the Tennessee Titans to upset the Dallas Cowboys.
Okay.
Wow.
Josh picks the Cowpokes, and Tony picks the Cowboys, and my numbers pick the Cowboys by a lot.
I was gonna say,
By a
probably
lot,
by
because it's a
lot.
14 confidence point, so that's pretty high. So if you get that right, Tom, you're going to be the only one. So
That's the idea.
you had a couple of those last week.
That's
so.
right. That's the
I
idea.
didn't read the standings, but the standings, Chuck and Josh are now tied at the top. Tommy, they went 9-7 last week. Josh and Chuck, and I went 9-7 also. And Tony went 11-5. Tommy gained 5 games on Chuck and Josh. He went 14-2. So
Outstanding week.
they're tied for first.
And the damn Browns game.
They're tied for first.
And I think we all thought the Browns would win that
Yeah,
game.
they should have.
Yeah, I picked-
Njoku should have put some stickum on his glove.
I picked him. Okay, so
So who do
like my Buccaneers cup, got for Christmas from my sister. Gets me good Buccaneers stuff. Next game. Oh, here's a big one. Here's a big one. We got the Cardinals at the Falcons. Let's just get Josh's out of the way. Josh and Tony. Look at Josh and Tony's out of the way before we do yours, Chuck.
That's fine.
Josh picks the Falcons. Tony picks the Cardinals. What do you got, Chuck?
The Falcons.
What do you got, Tommy?
the Falcons,
Yeah,
please?
so do I. Yeah, that's enough of that
Who
one.
picked the Cardinals?
Tony.
Tony.
Tony. Okay. Here's an interesting one. This should probably be a good game. Bears at Lions. What do you got, Chuck?
I'm going to go with Detroit. I know last week they gave up a lot of points, which Detroit's home. They should beat the Bears.
What do you got, Tommy?
I got the Lions.
Got the Lions.
Wouldn't be surprised if the Bears win.
We got what do we got here? We got Josh picks the Bears, and Tony picks the Lions, and I pick the Lions. So that's pretty much.
This next one's pretty much a
That's
dud.
interesting. Here's another one. We'll go quick. We'll just do Josh and Tony first. Josh has the Chiefs. Tony
This is Broncos
has
Chiefs, by the way.
the Chiefs, Broncos and Chiefs, yes, at Chiefs. I don't think it would matter where it was, but it makes it worse that it's in Kansas City. So Josh and Tony both have the Chiefs. What do you got, Chuck?
You have to ask.
I have to ask. Yes, I do.
The
It's in my
Chiefs.
contract. I have
It's
to
not
ask.
even worth the Chiefs.
Tommy?
I also have the Chiefs.
And I have Mahomie. So hopefully, stay healthy. These kind of games, you play the backup, Andy Reid. You win with the backup. Then we got this game is probably going to be one of the better games of the week, I think. You got the Miami Dolphins with Teddy Bridgewater as starting quarterback at the New England Patriots with Mackenzie Jones as starting quarterback.
Bridgewater's better.
What do you got, Chuck?
This was the last game I picked on my sheet, and I looked at a lot of different things. Miami's not playing well, so when in doubt, I go with the home team. I went with the Patriots.
Yeah. Josh went with the Dolphins, and so did Tony Throckmorton. Tommy, who'd you go with?
I went with the Patriots. I do think Bridgewater's actually better than Jones, but it'll be, he hasn't played in a while.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the Patriots.
And I went with the Patriots also, and I think probably the points that I give the home team is probably what put them over.
Mm-hmm.
So we got the next game is the Colts at the Giants. Colts at the Giants. What do you got, Chuck?
I took the Giants.
Okay. Josh took the Giants. Not surprising. Tony picked the Giants. And Tommy, what do you got?
I picked the Giants.
Okay. And I picked the G-Men also. So that was a quick one.
Now, if the Colts had Derek Carr,
They won't. He's going somewhere else.
No, he won't be playing somewhere else.
Yeah, he will.
next year.
Next, not this week.
Next year, though. Next year.
I think it's insane
I'm
that
hoping.
they benched him.
I do too.
Just
So we got.
to blame
Let's get to Saints
to
and
blame
Eagles.
this season on Derek Carr
Yeah.
is a joke.
It's so
yeah,
stupid.
It's pathetic.
Saints and Eagles. Saints and Eagles. Who do you got, Chuck?
Eagles.
Yes. And Josh has Eagles. And Tony has Eagles.
I
What do
also
you got,
have
Tommy?
the Eagles.
And so do I. Wow. We really, we all went out on a limb on that one. Here's one that's interesting. Just because their history against them. We got Jaguars at Texans. The Jaguars can win their division.
And the Texans' only win is against
The Jaguars can win their division.
the Jags.
How about that? How about that?
They did
Hey,
play in
Urban
the
Meyer,
AFC
how's that going
Championship
for
a
you?
while ago.
Yeah. Many moons ago with Baselli.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
that was like 6 years ago.
Well, that's true.
With
they
Blake
they
Bortles.
they were good recently,
Blake Bortles,
but
that's
remember
The quarterbacks that weekend were Nick Foles, Blake
They're-
Bortles, Tom Brady, and somebody else I don't remember.
their
who it was.
second
It was
year in the
terrible.
league, though. They made it to the AFC Championship game.
Yeah.
And the Panthers made it to the NFC Championship game.
Yep.
So you got Chuck, Jaguars and Texans.
Well, I know that the Texans have been playing better. Jaguars got something to play for. Houston does not. So I'm going with Jacksonville.
Okay. Josh has Jacksonville. Tony has the Texans. Tommy, what do you got?
I have the Jaguars, though the Texans' lone win is against the Jaguars. But
Don't they have 2 wins now?
do they? Did they
They
win
won
last
last week.
Yeah, they have 2 wins now.
week? Oh yeah, who'd they beat?
They scored a lot of
I
points.
can't remember. They beat, I don't know.
They beat the Titans.
Yeah, there we go.
Who have stunk up the joint.
So
One
they-
of the games I
2
got
wins in
wrong.
their division.
One of the games I got wrong.
Oh, yeah, that game and the Browns game.
But like I said, the Jaguars will win this game, I believe.
I think
Trevor
they
Lawrence
will.
is playing very well. I've been seeing some comparisons trying to say he's going to be Peyton Manning.
Well, they love
That's
doing
making
that.
me sick.
You know how they do.
Because
Let's not get
I personally
foolish.
think Peyton Manning is the best quarterback in NFL.
Well, I disagree, but
Well, it takes a team to win a Super Bowl.
no, what I'm not going to say, I wasn't going to say Tom Brady either.
Oh.
I heard a guy last night on the news. I've been steadfast to who I've said since you were little.
Who?
Joe Montana. But
Best receiver ever.
so who, you said the Jaguars.
I did.
Yeah, you
The
said
Jaguars.
the Jaguars.
Yeah.
Josh said the Jaguars.
Tony said the Texans.
Tony said the Texans, and I said the Jaguars. And it's not, mine wasn't even close. It was pretty,
Yeah.
9-point confidence. That's pretty good. And then we got this game, I don't know. I feel like it could be a trap game. But 49ers at Raiders.
I don't know if it
A
could be
trap
a trap
game
with
with
Jared Stidham starting.
with a quarterback that's never started an NFL game.
Well, Brock Purdy, his first NFL start.
and now they're now that they want to put everything on Derek Carr's head.
Yeah, which is ridiculous,
it's
isn't it?
it's a joke.
Hey,
Their coach is a
This
joke,
franchise and the owner in Vegas are still a joke.
yeah.
It's
I
a-
think
it's
Al
a
Davis
joke.
is rolling in his grave. He'd be so angry at this.
It's an absolute joke. And I'm not so sure this is a Josh McDaniel move. This is an owner move.
Yeah,
This
it
is
might
a-
be.
This is a Mark Davis
It
move.
might be.
You said the 49ers.
So what
right?
do you got?
Oh, the 49ers.
the Niners?
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. Josh has the Niners, and that's not what I got there. What is this? Hold on. I got screwed up there for a second. We got Tony has the 49ers also. I have the 49ers also. Pretty good margin. So, Jets and
I have the 49ers.
yeah, you said that.
I didn't.
Oh no?
I don't think
Oh,
so. I
I'm
think
sorry. You got the
skipped.
49ers. I'm sorry.
It's when you sit over
My
here, you
mistake.
get skipped.
My mistake. I call you the wrong name.
Yeah.
Jets
Tommy Doyle.
at
Yeah.
Seattle.
Who's starting for the Jets?
Mike White,
Mike White.
former Mayor Mike White,
All right.
is starting for the Jets. So what do you got, Chuck?
I don't like this game. So I went with the home team. I went with Seattle.
Okay. So did Josh. Of course, Tony went with the Jets. What do you got, Tommy?
So, if Zach Wilson was starting, I was going to pick the Seahawks. But Mike White is starting, I'm going to go ahead and pick the Jets.
Oh. So you feel like
He has thrown for 300 yards in almost all of his starts this year, and they've won.
So you feel like Zach Wilson is so bad
He's terrible.
that
Zach Wilson's
so
not good.
you feel like
That
Zach.
comparison
I'm
with
just-
the Manning thing that I saw
I'm just
was
trying to ask.
comparing him and Trevor Lawrence to Peyton Manning and what's his face that was drafted that same year?
Ryan Leaf.
Ryan Leaf.
But I'm
That's
just,
what that
I'm
comparison
just trying to
was
say,
trying to
you think that Zach Wilson is so bad that a former urban mayor
Meyer.
who now
Oh,
owns an alpaca farm,
In Southern
Mike
Ohio.
White, yes,
Mike White.
can beat.
I do.
Okay. Well, I'm
How old
good.
is he though? That's the question.
Huh?
He's got to be old.
Oh, he's in his probably. I'd have to say he's probably 70.
Mike
Close
White?
to it.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
He's probably 70. But I'm going to pick the Seahawks because I want Geno Smith to score like 57, 58 points, and just like the Jets fans, I want them to suffer. You know, they never gave Geno Smith a chance.
My picks have to be a little different here. We got some ground. Picked him half
So-
last week, trying to get back.
So there we go with that one. Let's go with the Minnesota Green Bay game at Green Bay. At Green Bay. What do you got, Tommy?
Me?
Yeah, what do you got? Let's go with
So,
you first.
I'm a big Vikings guy.
I did
People
that
are all over the Packers now. Oh, they're playing good again. Screw that. The Vikings have won football games. They have won football games. The Packers, they've just now started to win some. Give me the Vikings.
With the Vikings. What do you got, Chuck?
Well, as you know, I took the Packers to go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Still
They're
not
still
looking
alive.
good. They're alive, but not
They
looking
need the
good.
Browns to win.
However, I took the Vikings in this game. I think Green Bay's playoff hopes go right down the toilet.
They
this
need the
weekend.
Browns to win.
Josh picked the Vikings also, and so did Tony. My numbers, closest game of the week, 0.13 points.
Well, if we're going by, I mean, the Vikings are great in one-score games, so.
0.13 points, separating the two. And I guess it was because it's in Green Bay. So I'm going to pick, I almost said I'm going to pick Brett Favre and the Packers. But I'll pick Aaron Rodgers and the Packers.
Wow.
So we'll see.
You never know
I don't
what'll
know.
happen.
You don't know.
No, you don't, for sure.
Packers have been playing
and
well.
as much
but
as I don't like Aaron Rodgers, he seems to be renewed the last few weeks.
I don't know why everybody hates him so much.
So that's, but let's go with the next game. I guess, I don't know, can you call this a home game? Can you call this a neutral site game? The Rams at the Chargers. I did not give the Chargers the 30 extra points because I'm like, I don't know if this is really home field advantage, here. But what do you got, Chuck?
Rams are still bad. Chargers are already in the playoffs, but I took the Chargers.
Josh has the Chargers. Tony has the Chargers. Tommy, what do you have?
I also have the Chargers because I still do not. I like the guy. I like him, but I don't think Baker Mayfield's any type of savior.
Well, I mean, their team.
Half their wins are with him at quarterback.
Yeah,
But
and so that has to say something. But so I'm going with the Chargers because I've been a Justin Herbert fan since day one. And I knew he would get him into the playoffs eventually because he's a darn good quarterback.
yeah, it only took him 72
He's a-
years.
3 years. 3 years. Jeez.
He was as good as they said. They should have been 17-0.
Could have got to the playoffs last year if the coach hadn't called a timeout.
But if he was as good as they say he is, they should have been 17-0.
Herbert hasn't had the players.
He finally has his receivers
The
healthy.
defense hasn't played well.
Yeah, well, they have a lot of injuries too. But he finally has his
And
receivers
injuries
healthy,
But
and
there's
look what's
people out
happened in
there
the
who will
last 3
tell you
weeks.
that he's better than Joe Burrow. He's not.
I didn't say he was better than
But
Joe
people
Burrow.
say that
I think he's
all
good.
the time.
I don't
so,
think he's proven he's better than Joe
No.
Burrow.
So now let's go to the AFC North battle. A couple of disgusting franchises. We got the Steelers at Ravens. What do you got, Chuck? What do you got? Steelers at Ravens.
You're going to make me say it, aren't you?
Yeah, you got to say it. If I have to say their names, you got to say it. What do you got?
Ravens.
Yeah, he's got the Ravens, if you didn't hear it. What do you got, Tommy?
Obviously, this can go either way. AFC North matchup, best division games. Not saying they're the best division, but they always battle. I'm going to go with the Ravens, though. But it could go either way. The AFC North likes to fight.
Okay. We got Josh has the Ravens, and so does Tony. And I have the Ravens by quite a bit.
Well, yeah. They're way...
So,
On paper, they're much better. But
yeah. So then we've got not only the Monday night game, which is it is the best Monday night game of the year. Bills at Bengals. What do you got, Chuck?
high-scoring affair.
Yeah.
I went with the Cincinnati Bengals.
Okay. Let's see what Josh has. Josh has the Bills. Tony has the Bills. Tommy, what do you got?
I have the Bills of Buffalo.
I've got the Buffalo Bills too. So
Going to be a great game.
And remember, it's a primetime game.
Going to be a good game.
Joe doesn't exactly thrive in primetime.
Not against the Browns.
So we'll see. I mean, I like both quarterbacks, so it don't matter to me who wins, really.
Now on to the two games that matter to us.
Yes,
Right?
yes. Let's get to. We got Panthers at Buccaneers, and I'm really hoping that somehow Tampa Bay can figure out a way to get Derek Carr. Because I'll take Derek Carr in 14 interceptions. Are you kidding me? 14 interceptions for Derek Carr this year, and he's terrible? Hey, I know a guy who threw like 38 in 1 year.
He had a bad game last week, and you bench him, and
It's
and
horrible.
I mean,
He's literally the top
Think
10
about it.
quarterback.
You look
and he's
at
had a rough year.
you
pathetic.
look at if the Buccaneers' offensive line is healthy next year, with the weapons they still will have. Derek Carr? Are you kidding me?
I mean,
I think I'd take that
I
in
mean,
a second.
think about it. He can go to Tampa Bay. He can go he can go
he's
to
got a lot of places.
Indianapolis are the top two that come to mind for me.
The Raiders are going to look dumb. They're
Hopefully
really
not
going to look
Pittsburgh,
stupid.
but Pittsburgh.
Yeah, that's true. But we got this game this week. It could determine the NFC South. It will determine the NFC South. If Tampa Bay wins, they win the division. If Carolina wins,
Let's
they could
calm
still
down.
win it.
Calm down here, Mr. Shirer.
What? I didn't. But let's. What do you got, Chuck?
Well, I think you'll be happy to know that in this particular game, I went with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Okay. Josh went with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers also.
What about Tony?
Tony, which gives me confidence here, he went with the Panthers. What do you got, Chuck? Or what do you got, Tommy?
But I'm going to go with the Buccaneers also.
Okay. So, and I went 3 confidence points. The top 4 games were really within like half a point. Like they were close. I'm going to go with the Buccaneers. And when I did it, it's only because they're home. If it was in Carolina, I would have had to pick Carolina. So yeah, so this is a close matchup. This is their defenses have given almost the same amount of points. Their offenses have scored almost the same amount of
The
points.
Browns people.
Like it's really
Right. Yeah.
it's really going to be it's going to be a good game, I think. But it's not going to be on TV. I'm not going to be able to watch it, which is okay because my cardiac health. It's been tough the last couple of weeks watching them. So, but I'll be watching this game. The Browns at Commanders. I said it right. What do you got, Chuck?
Carson Wentz to start.
Yeah, yes.
And I'm going, they have more to play for. They need to win. I'm going with Washington.
All right, let's see what Tony and Josh have. Josh has Browns, and Tony has Browns. Who do you got, Tommy?
So, like Chuck says, Carson Wentz is starting. So because of that, give me the Browns.
Okay. 15 for 31 last week.
Who?
Somebody was.
Who? Watson?
Okay. So let's.
Okay, but how many of those were dropped? Like 7? No, seriously.
I
2
don't think
game-winning
7
touchdowns.
were dropped.
2 game-winning touchdowns in
Yeah.
a row.
Okay.
As
Tank
long
time.
as Stefanski is making the calls, this offense is not going to.
Did you see what's been going on though? Supposedly,
It's not
the
gonna
newest
Oh.
article that came
Here
out.
we go. Oh, who wrote that?
Well, still, but did you see it?
No,
That
what
Dee
did
Podesta is
what did
the one.
TMZ say this time?
Dee Podesta has been calling.
Yes.
Has been telling him he has to throw the ball more because that's what his analytics tell him.
Well, you know what the thing is?
And throw the ball.
But
long.
let me tell you
Yeah.
something. When they hired Kevin Stefanski, and they were at the press conference, and they asked about that, absolutely they said he would have input in the game plan.
But he's completely taken over, is what they've said.
I can't. No. What do you mean? During the game?
No, like he is
No, because he
telling him,
can't.
you have to throw
Well,
deep. He says that 4-yard runs are worthless. They're not. You do that 3
They're
times,
not,
first
they're
down.
not.
Well,
They're not worth.
That's what happens when you put a.
worthless
That's what happens when you put a
baseball
guy in
Yeah.
charge of a football team. So,
Well, I'm a baseball guy, and I tell you, I wouldn't.
so you
be
picked
that
the
stupid.
Commanders. Oh, you picked the Browns. You picked the Browns.
Yes.
So you, Josh, and Tony picked the Browns. Chuck and I did the smart thing and picked the home team Commanders. So that's pretty much it with the picks.
Carson Wentz has been terrible. So.
Yeah,
he's played, so.
you
I'm
know,
not debating that. It's just.
You know, and the special.
The Browns just still haven't shown me anything that they can beat a good.
Yeah.
No,
and
you're right.
I
Beat a
just
good
don't think,
team.
you know, think Carson, you know,
The, the Browns will find something good to do. They'll do it for a few plays, and then they get away from it.
And they'll
And
throw
they'll
the ball
start
downfield.
throwing a ball. And I just
I don't blame Stefanski for it.
and I think that, you know, Wentz, you know, Carson Wentz, the Prince Harry lookalike, you know, he's going to have to deal with all that media that ask him questions about him, the Megan documentary.
yeah.
How's he going to concentrate on the game? But I still think they'll win. I still think they'll win because they're a Ron Rivera coach team that never gives up. And I like Ron Rivera. He's a good coach.
And they have a playoff spot on the line.
Yes.
They
Yes.
have to play well.
Yes, but do we really want the whole NFC East to make the playoffs?
No.
The Browns aren't in. The Browns are out, so I don't care who makes it in.
I mean, the NFC East is always like overrated. Although they're good this year, you can't deny them. You can't deny that the
They have the
division's
best record in the history of the NFL from the
Yeah,
division.
you can't deny it. So I guess we'll go with that. So, but I think we're about done here, and click it. I guess next week we got one more show for the regular season. You have to click it.
I heard you.
one more show for the regular season, and then we'll have shorter playoff shows, postseason shows,
sure.
4 games a week. They'll be shorter, but we can even delve into the games more. You know.
And Tim, how many days to opening day?
90.
89 today.
89 days.
Today is 89
to the
today.
Guardians opening day.
Guardians opening day.
Not spring
89.
training. Opening
Yes.
day.
Yes.
Go Guards.
Spring training is, what is today? Today's the 28th.
29th.
29th is today. Okay, so we got 33, 46 days until spring training opens. Like, can you believe it? That's so good. Oh my gosh. So, well, I guess that's it. For my broadcast, for my host, partner, Josh Dome, I guess we'll see you next week.